Happy Men's Mental Health Month, everybody. Which seems to be a growingly popular sentiment shared by a variety of different places that we did not expect and hadn't seen from them before. Now, I can only imagine that this is most likely performative and has been politicized. It's not actually about men's health at all. It's more just about, screw you! Alphabet people, or whatever other terminologies they're using, seems to be like a collective realization that things have gone too far. The bullied have become the bullies. No, I honestly don't think this is about men's health or the well-being of men as much as it's probably about just, an overcorrection to an overextension from the left, a sheer lack of respect and honor from the winning side. But as a man, these things do actually ring true to me, especially as a man who's been taken advantage of for the vast majority of his life. A man who has suffered at the hands of self-righteous, self-important, narcissistic, liberal women. The white ones, too. Like, the worst ones. And I would actually like to share some sincere words of support for men. Not in a politicized kind of way, more in I feel like we're in a position where this is actually going to get through to some people and isn't going to feel performative. It's not necessarily the content I've done in the past, but it's the kind of content I'm doing now, so I'm seizing the opportunity. The reason why this is being politicized, and the reason why this is drawing a very close association with the denouncement of everything that the left represented, is because at the forefront of the leftist propaganda was the absolute degrading, deplatforming, and disrespect of the straight white man. It was their MO. If you don't believe me, try and have a look and see what the Democratic Party's primary tactic is in order to win back voters for the next time that they go to lose. That's right, they're trying to win back straight white men again. If the Democrats' major priority was not trying to win back young men in the face of the increasing trend of young straight men deviating from leftist ideologies, then this would not be something that's in any way associated with each other, right? There would just be the LGBTQ leftist ideology movement that's overreaching and overextending into every single thing it can possibly control, and then there's also then men's rights. These things are not related, but they are. They are related. The popularity of one coincides with the destruction of the other. But of course, that's not how it has to be, does it? It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can actually be both, but concepts like that don't exist with liberals. It's their way or no way. So allow me to delve into the hell and horror that has been the straight white male's life for the last, half a decade, maybe a little bit longer. I mean, arguably you could say it's been hell forever, but it's been a deliberate subject of every last remaining bastion of hope that men had. You know, the people that men confided in, their companions, women. The male loneliness epidemic. Now, you're probably going to come across a shit ton of justifications for this. Can you believe? Can you imagine if there was literally any other demographic of people out there, literally any other, if there was an epidemic of oppression leading to loneliness, this would be an issue that would be dealt with. But since it's men, it's not a big problem. It's probably your fault. Who cares, right? I care immensely, actually. Especially considering that despite this massive hatred campaign, this insistence on disparaging a very specific gender, race, and sexuality, in a time when we're meant to be met with acceptance and inclusivity, ironically, men have not stopped being the supportive cornerstones for Western modernized civilization. We still majorly make up all of the most fundamental aspects of society. We never stopped. We never once did the petty thing where we're like, then we're just not going to do it. See what happens. Yeah, just see what happens when we stop. We didn't do that because we realized that there's priorities in the world. We realized that this large group of very loud, ugly people are just doing this performatively in order to push a point, to gain some power. They're not actually trying to change anything. Men had no choice but to maintain society. Infrastructure, energy, waste management, construction, military. Despite the global beration of men, we never stopped because we know what our duty is and we're not petty about it. But there's no surprise at all that and it's not even just a completely unrelated coincidence, that there is an ever-growing amount of young men deviating from leftist liberal bullshit, and also the increase in the male loneliness epidemic. These two things are not mutually exclusive. They are both symptoms of a singular thing, and that is the degradation of the straight white male populace. You know, the guys that make all the cool stuff. When a young man has to grow up in a society where, every single piece of media, every single leftist politician, every video game, every TV show, every movie, every stage show, school classes, there's been this undeniable, constant, unending narrative of men bad, especially straight white men bad. Especially straight white man bad. And if you're scoffing and rolling your eyes at this, then you're part of the problem. And sweetie, history's coming for you. It really is. You're the reason why your party lost. Because you're unwilling to acknowledge things that don't concern you. Well, it's about to. In fact, it already did. Look who won the vote in America. Behold the reaping of your sowing. But when men grow up in this oppressive society that is designed to degrade them, then of course men are going to grow up thinking that they have nothing they can offer society. And this has always been the fundamental desire of men. To provide. It's like what we do and have done forever. If we can't provide something, we feel utterly useless. So we always strive to do the best we possibly can in order to provide something to a woman, a family, society, colleagues, literally anything. If we're unable to provide, if we're unable to give something to someone in exchange for affection and respect, then we feel utterly useless. Men fall into depression, deep, unending, and usually fatal depression, just look at the statistics, because they feel they are unable to provide something. They feel worthless. See, Chris Rock said it best whenever he said, only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved when he provides something. And this is true. And men never really had a problem with this because they were able to provide. Not every man could, and this is a problem that we can also then tackle once we've rebalanced the scales here. But a man was willing to accept these terms. It's our natural drive to want to provide. That's a good thing. Now, of course, there's probably been some label that was created in some sort of leftist California university in order to name this concept and therefore target it for degradation and attack. That's the way you do with everything. If it has a name, it can be attacked. It can be turned into a hashtag. The concept can be defined by a single label that usually ends in ist or phobe or something like that. And now that it has a name, it can be attacked relentlessly. Now it has a face. It has I know the demon's name. It can be sent back to hell. But young men were growing up in a society where they were being told to be soft and accepting and tolerant and listen to other people when they talk. You listen. You sit down and you listen when they talk. You be considerate. You hide your masculinity. Masculinity, bad, hide masculinity, scary, toxic, hide it. So these young men have grown up with these ideologies, right? Be soft, be meek, be considerate, be agreeable, hide your masculinity, be ashamed of your masculinity, be ashamed of your masculinity. So they did this. Young men did this. And what did society do to reward these new, soft, malleable men? That's right, they shat all over them constantly, reminding them that men are terrible and awful and straight white men are innately racist by merely existing and you can't possibly provide anything to society because women can do it too. Yep, that's right, women can do everything you can do. You're not needed, boys. Congratulations, you removed the only reason why most men feel like they deserve to live, and we're seeing the results of this. Men, as an entirety, young men, are feeling like they have nothing to provide, there's nothing important about them, and they should be sorry for existing. Despite the fact that every single woman on Earth and all modern civilizations still require these exact same men to sacrifice the same amount of their lives to prop up these organizations and these infrastructures. You still need to do all the work, fellas, but you're not going to get any more respect for it. Sorry, that train's gone. Now, I've seen a lot of ways that people are trying to combat this, and I'm gonna offer my 2 cents actually, as a man who's been shat on constantly as an infiltrator of what has now become leftist subcultures. I'm going to give you a way to actually fix this. And I see all this kind of performative, ineffective bullshit where it's like, reach out to a man today. oh, reach out. It's too late for that. After over half a decade of men being told that no one gives a what they think or how they feel or what they're going through, do you really think a man is going to hear, how you doing, are you okay? And be like, well, I'm glad you asked because I can't wait to tell you. Do you think they're going to do that? They're probably not. They've been conditioned not to do that. Do you think especially a man is going to do that on the most performative month of the year, Men's Mental Health Month? A man knows that this is just a symptom of the month we find ourselves in. It's just flamboyant virtue signaling. It's hollow. It's just like, I did my part for Men's Mental Health Month. What about you? It's like, this is not how this works actually at all. It's also not going to be down to the working class or the individual or social groups. It's not going to be down to this kind of thing. There needs to be a complete and utter restructuring of the entire society and our media as a whole. This is going to take years to fix. Since it took years to get men into this position, it's going to take years to get these men out of it. And boy, are they electing the leaders they think are going to get them out of this. If you don't want to live under a fascist alt-right regime, we don't need more Trumps. If you don't want more Trumps in future, if you don't want more conservative presidents in future, then everyone's going to have to change their attitude about men. You're going to have to. I know it's going to suck having to acknowledge that men do actually still contribute more than you do, ladies, in terms of the essential aspects of engineering, construction, infrastructure, waste management, power management. I mean, I could go on, right? When a big fat feminist takes a big fat shit in a toilet, the plumbing that a man put in is responsible for flushing it away. You're welcome. Men are directly responsible for us not wading through fat liberal bitch shit. We are going to have to completely change the faces of those that are making our media, our movies and shows, and people responsible for developing and writing our video games. This all needs to change. Men are involved in these things. Men are the primary consumer of most of these fantasy sci-fi creative IPs. And in these IPs, these places where they were meant to feel safe and catered to, which is fine, that's completely okay, they were being told that they're monsters, that you're bad. All the villains were straight white men. And all the good guys were like, we're effeminate men, women, and ethnic minorities. This might not mean a lot to you, but this does paint a picture quite consistently, actually, to the people that are being portrayed as the villains. There's going to have to be a massive societal effort from everybody, not just a man's close group of friends who, of course, already care about him. This is going to have to be a group effort, everybody. Everyone's going to have to be involved with this. Your brothers, your dads, your uncles, at least the positive versions of all these people in your life, ladies. This might surprise you, but almost all the women in my life have also been dangerously deranged, toxic maniacs. It's not gender exclusive, but there are also some very, very powerfully positive female influences in my life, and I appreciate them deeply. I respect them deeply. I have absolutely no ego in acknowledging and accepting and supporting women who are incredible. However, I feel like men who are amazing you see as a threat to your authority. This is not good. That's an ego, sweetie. You have an ego. You know, the thing you hate men for? That's your ego stinging. To quote one of my favorite movies in a paraphrase, that's pride. Pride. Pride only hurts. It never helps. We can only really survive, thrive, and flourish in a society that understands and upholds mutual respect and equal renouncement of those who do not uphold these values. I have no problem calling out a man who is not upholding the best qualities of a man. And yet it's not the sentiment I've seen reflected from the other side, from women. It's like, oh, well, what did he do, huh? How many times have you heard that? Woman kills husband. And the reaction is, well, what did he do? What did he do? What did he do to make her act like that? It's disgustingly toxic. A woman recently lit a man on fire, a man she knew, for making a misogynistic joke. Hilarious. I hope this man presses charges. I really do. For a woman to feel so emboldened that she can immolate a male friend for a joke speaks a lot, actually. So to continue explaining how I know we can fix this male loneliness epidemic, we need to start reminding men en masse. Now, this is not something that I need because I know my value. I know what I provide. And I'm with a woman that reminds me every day that what I do is respected and appreciated. We need to start reminding men that they are respected and appreciated for their contributions to society, because they contribute a lot more than you're willing to give them credit for. And whether they were getting credit or not, they were still doing it. Media needs to be completely changed, completely reshuffled. There needs to be a different depiction, total return to form for what media used to be about. The Democrats are already learning this lesson, and they've learned it the hard way. As per usual with these types, they always learn the hard way. So even the Democratic Party is trying to win back men in any way, or I guess in the only ways they know how, completely ineffectively. So don't reach out to men this month because you've been told to, or you've been reminded to, or you're like, I did my part for man. And he reached out to my brother and we're like, you good? And he was like, yeah, I'm fine. And I was like, okay. You did it. You saved men. You did it, Goku. You asked if he was all right. And he was like, I'm fine. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm fine is like almost ubiquitously in various different languages the last phrase any man ever says before he votes himself off the island. Hell, man, you could use the phrase I'm fine as the motto to like a men's health charity. You probably could. Welcome to I'm Fine Men's Mental Health. I want you to check on the men in your life more often after June is over. All year. I want you to spread that Christmas cheer for the all year round. Male mental well-being is not just for June. If you don't say it so often, ladies, because like they're not reminding you because they're men, why would they? Just be like, you know what? I kind of thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. We would not be where we are if it wasn't for you. Sweetie, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much for what you're doing. Make a big fuss on his birthday. Even if he's like, I don't want to do anything for my birthday, I just don't want to do it. He doesn't want to do something for his birthday. Shocker. You need to do something for his birthday. Okay? Just something small. A 6-pack in his favorite movie. Right? His favorite beer or something on a Blu-ray of a movie he loved when he was a kid. And just watch it together. And don't be on your phone. Watch the movie with him. Do you know what? Watch a man light the fuck up whenever you ask to be a part of his favorite hobby. Just watch it happen. Hey, sweetie, can I go golfing with you? It's like telling a kid that, like, I got a day off work today, champ. We can do whatever you want. It's that kind of thing. Can I come fishing next time? You just listen to a man talk about his favorite shit. A man will say nothing all day. You ask him about his favorite thing, he's not only is he going to tell you about it, and he's gonna be like, yeah, these are the hooks that I got from Amazon, they're not as good, but I got these hooks from a local place and they're way better. Like, he'll talk to you about this forever because he cares immensely about it. And for you to just listen and just, you know, the same way men do sometimes when women talk about their day, and we're very polite to just be like, wow, yeah, what else happened? That's crazy. I can't believe she said that to you. Because, you know, men have been conditioned to care immensely about everyone else except themselves. Give them the same courtesy. It's like, wow, yeah, and you caught a lot of fish with this hook? That's nuts. He'll then bring out his phone and be like, yeah, look, I caught this fish with that hook. It's like, he just regresses to being a little boy again. He's excited. And I can guarantee you he's going to think about that forever. Go on Reddit or 4chan or whatever, or Twitter, man. Like, there are guys out there who remember every single compliment they've ever gotten because they never get them. I remember them. I didn't have a crush on this girl, but I remember back in school, I was 14 years old, and there was a girl I sat next to, and she said I had nice teeth. I still remember that. For 20 years. Do you know how starved of appreciation you have to be to remember every compliment you've ever had? Could you live like that, ladies? Could you? Or do you think maybe you'd make a big, stinky, stumpy mess about it and we'd all have to pay attention and change our ways? Look, men know the deal, right? We're born into this shit, right? You're born as a man, you know what the deal is. You have to toil away and fix everyone else's shit and prop up everything and be blamed for all the problems and mistakes. And you just need to take it on the chin, champ. No one likes a pussy. No one likes a crying dude sobbing every time something doesn't go his way. That's not your lot in life. When you bring up your phone and you cry on TikTok, you don't get sympathy. You get the complete opposite of it. You get disgust. Chicks are allowed to do that. That's fine. And then they get pretty much anything they want. As you as a dude, you don't get that. You don't get sympathy. No one cares. So you just nut up, shut up, head down, work away. Because no one cares. So yeah, to summarize, let's keep the Christmas cheer for all the year, and let's keep uplifting our men in society. Because if you hate Trump, then this is the only way you're going to get rid of several more decades of people like Trump. This is how we're going to reduce the overwhelming number of men voting themselves off the island in complete silence to no mourners, because it's just another man. Who cares? Well, I care. I care deeply. Dudes, if you're watching this video, I care about you a lot. You are capable of so much. You're being told that you're not because they're trying to take something from you. Don't let them take it. I've said this before in a previous video, man, but the only reason why you would ever want to completely and utterly reprimand a very specific group of people is because you're trying to get something from them. It's like an attack. Like if you want to take a city, if you want to like take over a city as a military, you have to attack very specific points of the opposition in order to be able to make the city easier to capture. It's the same thing that's happening to you. You're being gaslit into thinking that's not happening, because they will say that. It's like, none of this is happening. This is all in your head. This is not happening. And if it is happening, it's your fault. And if it is happening, it's a good thing. Right? You're being told this by every single media outlet, by every woman in your life, by everyone all the time. They're doing it on purpose. It's for a reason. They're trying to usurp you. They're trying to take everything that men have ever done, that you are ever going to be capable of, and they're trying to take it for themselves. Do not let them do that. Anyway, men, respect the good women out there. For the love of God, please do that. Don't turn into angry woman hater. You need to approach this with a level of respect and consideration that no one else has. But then again, this is just always the responsibility of man, isn't it? Just to rise above and be better than people have been before us. Even other men is to be better than the previous men. Be better fathers, better leaders. Acknowledge your own power, fellas. Acknowledge and respect women as well. And this is not about men versus women. This is about men and women versus the problem. As a divisive society, there is no way we can fix any problem ever. We're only going to create more problems. And this is not the time to start swinging in every direction. Be a strong man, not an angry man. I had a great day today because I made it a great day, and I'll catch all of you next time. Goodbye, everybody.